CNN Kathmandu.
The growing popularity of climbing Mount Everest sometimes obscures the very real danger. Case in point, Sean Birch, a climber we followed on his trek to the summit last week, and the emergency evacuation that has returned him to Kathmandu. Sean joins us on the video phone with the details of his ordeal. And Sean, how are you feeling?
Pretty good now.
Well, this has to feel quite incredible that A, you would have accomplished getting to Mount Everest, and then falling on the very anniversary week, or very close to the anniversary week, 50 years. How significant of an accomplishment is this for you personally?
Very significant. I've been dreaming about it for 8 years. I've been training for it for about 4 years. I came here by myself. I'm an independent, and it's absolutely fabulous. I've got some frostbite, but it's well worth it.
Well, independent meaning you have no sponsors, and let's talk about how you got that frostbite, because this was a harrowing journey, wasn't it? Going up was far different from coming down for you. Explain the differences in what you experienced.
Sure. Well, when I went up, I actually went up twice. I came up to to what's called the balcony on Mount Everest, on the summit bit, and I had to turn around. So the next day I came back up and had to use oxygen all the way to the summit. And then on the way down, I decided not to use oxygen. And in that case, it took me about 11 to 12 hours to return to the South Pole. And that's where I received the frostbite on my feet and my hands.
So knowing that that was a great risk by not using oxygen, why did you make that decision?
Because my original plan was I thought I could do Everest with oxygen. So I thought the ultimate endurance fitness challenge was to do Mount Everest without supplementary oxygen, the way Reinhold Messner did it in 1978 and 1980. So that was my original plan, but the winds were way too high and way too dangerous, and I knew if I didn't use oxygen the entire way, I probably wouldn't come back alive.
And so, you know, in the midst of this climb and descent, you know, you realize the frailties of the human body. Do you feel any less satisfied given that you did have to end up using oxygen? I mean, you're only human. What's the matter with using oxygen? It's an incredibly harrowing attempt anyway.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, you have to give people credit that the mountain is a tough mountain to climb. But for me, I feel that I still can actually do the whole climb without oxygen, and I actually probably will come back and try to do it without oxygen, hopefully in the near future, just to prove myself that I can do the whole thing without oxygen.
So by descending slower, as you're explaining, because you did not use the oxygen,
yeah.
You got frostbite in your fingers and in your toes. Explain why it is that happened. It's simply because of the pace in which you had to travel going down?
Well, actually, the pace was very slow, but the fact that your blood becomes it just becomes really thick like glue. So so what it does is your heart needs all that, that blood to pump to it to keep you alive. So what it does, it keeps it from the extremities. So that's exactly what it did to me. It kind of kept me from my toes. It kept me from my fingers. So when I got back down, I couldn't feel a thing on all my toes or all my fingers.
So Sean, you said you're likely to try this again because you want to try it without oxygen all the way around. Is that likely to be your next adventure? Because I know you're not done.
No, yeah, exactly. No, my next adventure is going to be, I'm going to the North Pole, and I want to go to the South Pole, and then I'll probably come back to Everest as well in between that.
Wow, what an appetite for challenges. Thanks very much, Sean, and good to see you, and best wishes on your recovery.